What's
Yeah.
going on? What's happening? Welcome to the Bread and Hope Show, people. It's your boy Bread. What's up?
Yo, what's up, Brad? What's up?
So glad to have everybody here for another show, another week. So good. I'm going to switch up my studio too. So next week, I'm going to have my studio set up a little bit. So
All right. That's what's
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So going to retirement in style. So I'm going to go ahead and
Get your
get my studio set up in here. So
that's what's up.
y'all can stop looking at a logo. So,
that's that's what's up. Can't wait to see
yeah, yeah,
see the
yeah.
finishing touches on that. Yeah.
Got to get a studio. Got to get it together, man. So what's going on, Hope?
Oh man, all is well, all is good. You know, everything has just been going good, man, for me. The weekend was great. I'm closing on a new home next Monday, man.
Congratulations, man. That's what I'm talking about right
So,
there,
I
man.
know I brought it up before, but we finally
Yeah,
got through all the different phases and the shenanigans and paperwork.
yeah, buddy.
so they sent me a nice little video with somebody drinking some champagne saying, "Hey, we ready we ready to go, ready for you to come on in and sign papers on Monday." So,
There you go.
yeah, yeah, man. So very, very happy, man. Um for me and my family, man. We're gonna have a
Very good, man.
new home.
That's what I'm talking about. Hope when there's some grown folk stuff now. So that you talking about not buying your first, but your second house. It's like that's some grown folk stuff right there.
Thank you, bro. Thank
That's
you.
grown folks. Yeah, that's what you're talking about right there. That's good stuff, man. That's exciting. It's always an exciting time. I know sometimes you can, it can be a little stressful at times in the process, but once you get doing that paperwork, man, it ain't nothing but just coasting in, having fun and
Yeah, man.
packing and then
Yeah,
unpacking.
yeah. Well, you know about that packing, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we doing a good bit of stuff, man. But I hired somebody to come
Oh yeah. You have to.
move the big stuff, man.
Oh yeah, you have
I
to.
can't be moving beds and
No, 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 no. We don't. We did that when we was kids, man. We was
yeah,
going from apartment to apartment, or place to place, man. You just
yeah.
grab the fellows, whoever you can grab, man, and get it moved.
Right, right.
Yes,
So yeah,
man.
that's how we going about it this
Yes,
time.
sir. Yes, and the moving is so sophisticated now to where I remember last time I did it. Uh, they get the big stuff, they move it for you, but shoot, they'll pack it for you too,
Yeah, man. I mean,
pack it and unpack it for you.
yeah, I mean, I did my research for moving companies and talked to different. As a matter of fact, man, I went to the point of actually speaking with a moving consultant. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm talking
yeah,
about that deal with not just local moves, but hell, international commercial moves.
yeah, yeah.
That I found that was very reputable.
Yes, sir.
So I spoke with that person, man, because they were actually gonna come by my house, but we got on the phone, chopped it up,
Yeah,
and they gave me their recommendation based on my needs.
yeah,
And I'm going with two men in a truck. I don't know if you heard
yeah.
of them, but
Yeah, they've been around for a while, man. I've heard of them. Yep, yep.
yeah,
They've been around
yeah,
for a while.
yeah. So I'm going with them simply because based on the consultant, he was like, look, you got a lot of moving companies out here, but they vet the people that they're gonna come and move. They do background. He gave me the
Yeah,
whole rundown, background checks,
yeah, yeah,
all this and that. You're not just getting a run of a mill guy just got hired and no background. Nobody's vetted.
yeah,
So I was like, I need that. I need people who's been vetted. I
yeah,
don't want
yeah,
just
man.
any.
You know,
Yeah, I don't want
yeah,
just anybody
yeah,
just coming up and moving my stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, man.
So
You're so right. You want to be
yeah,
comfortable because you got strangers in your house, but then
right.
you got them in your old house, and then you got them in your new house. So,
We got valuables. We got what I'm saying. So
yep,
that's what I wanted. I wanted to know what company out there who's actually are doing what they say they're doing. And he
yeah,
said, hey man, this is who you need to go with. They do background checks on the people who moving your stuff.
There you go.
And
There
I
you
was
go.
like, that's what I need. I don't
There
need
you
some
go.
company just hiring somebody.
There you go. There you go.
I know they out there, but that's what I wanted. And so
Yes,
that's the reason
sir.
why that's why I went with these guys. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they've been around for a while, man.
yeah,
GM
they
trucks.
reputable. They've been around for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah.
And then when I finally got with someone locally, like I said again, I went from talking to a global guy, national guy, to who his referral was locally in my
Mm-hmm.
area. So I
Yeah.
didn't just go straight to them and talk to them. I was talking to somebody else
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who
Yep,
who
yep,
that's
yep.
what they all about.
That's what
So
it, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know what I'm
they know.
saying? Yeah, this guy, he knew. He told me. He said, he just told me. He said, yeah, this company, this company. He gave me a couple, but he said, but if you want a reputable company that you know that do background checks of their employees. Yeah, he said you don't want just anybody coming up in your crib. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
talking
man.
my talk. I don't just want just any
Yeah,
cat
yeah.
just coming up here and moving my stuff
Yeah,
to my
yeah,
home.
and I like the sophistication of it because of and the strategy because like you say, I mean, you got a lot of valuable things, and and sometimes they can do a better job of packing than you can.
Right, right.
Now I want all, I want to take care of all my personal stuff. Now I want to do that, but if I got dishes or just whatever, we don't have dishes like we used to no more. But we had dishes.
Well, the main thing, but you're right though. Like the dishes, don't get me wrong. Like my real valuable stuff, I'm moving that stuff myself, right?
Right, right,
I
right.
ain't letting nobody handle that. Like my safe and things like that. I ain't letting nobody
Yeah.
handle that stuff. I'm handling that, uh, but like the bed, sofa, dining, yeah,
Oh
I
yeah, I
need,
mean, yeah, obviously your big stuff, you ain't
yeah,
gonna get
yeah, but I
all your
ain't,
big stuff and your televisions and because
yeah,
if you got stuff mounted, they'll unmount it off the wall. They do
yeah,
they
they're
do
gonna, yeah,
everything.
yeah, so.
You can just sit back and pay your point.
Yeah, so they're gonna, yeah, they're getting the TVs. They're not taking the mounts off
Yeah.
because my new tenant who's coming in gonna use the mounts. So
Oh,
that's
okay,
cool.
cool.
So yeah, they're gonna use
That's
them.
good.
I'm not moving washing dryer, um, refrigerator.
Yeah,
I'm not moving
yeah,
none of that. They're gonna
yeah,
use
yeah,
all
yeah.
those things. So it's gonna be a pretty cool move. I mean,
Good
we
stuff,
should be
man.
all
Good
right.
stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good
Yeah, man.
stuff,
So
man.
that's what's going on, man. What's going on your end, man?
Hey man, shout out to Atlanta Old School Drummers, man. And had a parade this past weekend. So shout out to Juneteenth. Juneteenth is tomorrow. Happy Juneteenth weekend. Happy Juneteenth time. So there's a lot of this the start of all of the freedom holidays, and so we started with Juneteenth, and you rolled into Fourth of July. So uh, we marched down. Those who know about Atlanta, we started around the Martin Luther King Center, and we went down Broad Street all the way to Piedmont. We ended at Piedmont Park. So 1.2 miles. It was quite. I'm just not recovering, Hope. I'm just not recovering. So just not recovering. So it was pretty good time had by all. All government and federal offices are closed tomorrow. But yeah, just happy Juneteenth for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, man, just been having a real good time with that and getting it in, man, getting it in. So just so happy that everybody joined the Bread and Hope show. We got a lot of sports going on, a lot of stuff we're gonna talk about. So we got to get it in, squeeze it in, and we want to appreciate everybody for sticking in there with us. I know we changed platforms over the years, and we're going to do more with the platform that we have here on StreamYard this year. Hopefully, we're going to work towards. Look, if this is your first time listening to the show, welcome. We are based in Atlanta, Georgia. We talk about sports primarily in the state of Georgia and Atlanta area. But hell, wherever you are from, please be part of the show and speak on it. So, Hova, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I just want to thank listeners and new listeners tuning in. As always, give a shout out to Lou. Lou's in the house. He's been
Lou.
supporting the Bread and Hover show since we started. You can also check his show out, the Enhanced Sports Show. He'll be on joining us later to talk about that. Also, you can visit the Bread and Hover Show Facebook group. We post from time to time different types of content related to sports, as well as visit our website, www.sportsandbrews.com, where you can get real live sports and beer content. Um, on that note, man, let's get on into it.
Let's get on, man. Look, like I said, happy Juneteenth, and people be celebrating. It gets bigger and bigger every year since we've been celebrating it here in this country, and so it's a real big deal. So, and it falls on Thursday. So the good thing about it, fall on a Thursday. A lot of people taking off that Friday too, just kind of have that extended weekend. So that's good stuff on that. And just in light of that, man, what's your favorite African American actor, Hover?
Oh man,
Male and female.
Male and female.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, man, I got to go with that's a good one. I want to go with Denzel Washington, man. I mean, I know that's kind of the brand name, but you know what you're gonna get with him. I mean, he really brings his best in his roles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
For male, and then for female, oh man, it's a lot of women. Women, African American actresses that I like, but I guess I'm gonna go with that. I mean, here's another brand name, Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
I mean, she's proven time and time again, man. Whatever role she gets, she makes it work.
Yeah.
And you know what you're gonna get with her. You know you're gonna get the best. So those are my two, man. I know those are kind of household names, but
yeah,
I didn't go outside of the. How about you, man?
Yeah, I like. I'm gonna go outside the box a little bit, man.
Okay.
I like Sterling Brown.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys know Sterling Brown, but if I tell you what he played on, you might be like, oh, that guy. He's kind of he's been around a little bit, but he's just now reaching his zenith. Not in a whole lot of movies, but in a whole lot of successful shows. So Sterling Brown used to play on This Is Us. And so if you're familiar with the show, This Is Us, it's a very popular show during the time. And now he's on a very popular show called Paradise. And so both of those shows, man, are very, very good. I think that when you talk about young guys and up and coming actors, that brother's really up and coming, really, really, really good, man.
Yeah.
So he stands out to me right now. Actresses, man, it's just so many. I can go old school. I can go Afri Woodard, which is very, very good. I like Afri Woodard. Which was very good. The Cicely Tyson is always great. I'm going old school on that. Cicely Tyson has always been good.
Absolutely.
And pretty much, everything that she played in. So yeah, those would be my two right there in terms of, of actors and actresses that, some of I got a lot of favorites, but those are two that really stand out for me, or three that stand out for me.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't, I have to, I have to agree with both. I mean, all what I mean, even for me, Forrest Whitaker for male. I forgot about Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker is a strong choice, because if you watch Godfather Harlem,
yeah,
which is excellent. I mean, everything he plays in is good though. So it's kind of like Denzel.
Yeah,
so everything that he plays in, at least for me, I like it.
And I tell you another brother, man, that people know. I mean, he's done quite a bit of work. Charles S. Dutton, Rock.
Yeah. Rock. Yes, sir.
Rock, man. I mean, he's definitely up there in my top 3.
Yeah. Rock is solid. I mean, no pun intended.
That dude can act. I never
everything that he
known.
does. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, even when he was in just being a supporting role in what's that movie, Rudy?
yeah,
I know
yeah,
Lou probably know about that,
yeah,
but
yeah,
but yeah, man. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I can
Yeah.
go
I mean,
on, I can
it's
go
so
on and
yeah,
on.
we can go
Yeah,
on and on, man. And I got to put in Idris Elba.
yeah, I like
Um,
him. I like him,
Idris Elba. I was a fan since The Wire. So,
man. Hold on, and I'm gonna really take you there for the
yeah,
actresses.
mm.
Diane Carroll,
Sir,
Claudine.
sir,
I
yes, sir.
mean,
Claudine, yes, sir.
she played
Sir,
her. I
yes, sir.
mean, sheesh, everything.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, you talking
she's
about,
classic. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
old school, but she. I mean, but you talk about the building blocks and the pillars and some of the foundations of us, and you know how Hollywood is anyway. Hollywood, they typecast a lot of people that have been racist for a lot of years, and it's hard for people, period, to come up in there. I mean, if you're African American, if you're Jewish,
man.
a lot. It's been tough in Hollywood for folks
But you
over
know
the years.
what really would make me really think about Diane Carroll as far as, I mean, her being an African American was not only just Claudine, but think about it. She had a role on Dynasty
I
where
was about to say that. Yeah, yep, yep.
she was just, I mean, if she wasn't the BITCA, but I mean,
She was flawless.
but she made, and I
She
don't
was
mean that in a
flawless.
bad. I'm just saying she came with it, man. She
Yeah, she
was
was
a
flawless. Yeah,
so
yeah.
um
Those are good. I mean, and those. I mean, man, we came up with some good ones on the fly because I did not. I just knew we were going to talk about it, but I didn't know what names we were going to come up with. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
outside of Denzel. I mean, Denzel is
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
a
That's a
given.
household name. That's a
It's a
given.
household. That's a given. But outside of Denzel, it's so much work that's been done in so many things over the years, man. To where it's just great. I have to give a shout out. And let's just give people their roles. We're gonna do it on our show. And shout out to Tyler Perry. I don't watch a lot of Tyler Perry stuff. I'll just be honest. I just don't. I watch a few things, but not a lot. But I am a fan of his work in terms of the success that he has had. The guy's been homeless. Didn't have much, didn't have anything, and he had. You talk about pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. He is one of those people that is has been exemplary of that. So shout out to Tyler Perry. His studios are here in Atlanta, and they keep
Yeah,
growing. So shout out to that guy.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I give him credit, no doubt about that. I do know he's in the social or media not under the best circumstances, but
Yeah.
at the moment.
Oh yeah,
But
I heard
I
about that.
mean,
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm kind of separating that personal thing. But as far as his credit, though, I have to give him credit for
I got to. Yeah,
what he's
I got to
done.
do that.
Yeah, what he's done and giving people work that
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
wouldn't have got
Right.
opportunity,
There you go.
man.
There you go.
So you gotta give him his due.
There you go.
I will say what I don't. I mean, I'm like you. I don't watch a lot of his. I mean, I watch some, but I don't watch a lot of his productions. But
Yeah.
I will say what I, as far as what I don't like, as far as with him. I'm not really big on I know the Madea thing can be a little funny, but I never really been
Mhm.
big on dude running around, and doing all
Yeah,
that.
right,
You
exactly.
know,
Right,
I mean,
right.
don't get me wrong. It has it play everybody get they laugh, but
Right.
I just that but outside of that, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
hey
that's
man,
that's that Hollywood shtick.
but that,
That's the Hollywood shtick that's been doing it for generations. Like, you go all the way back to like Flip Wilson.
but you know what?
Eh,
I get it. It pays the bill. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
saying it. It pay. People laugh. It has its place. It pay. It puts a check in your pocket. Okay. I'm not.
yeah, right,
You know,
right.
I'm not the one to judge on that. I just me personally. I don't. I
Yeah,
don't. I'm not the one that would want to see that entertainment. I'm
yeah,
not
you're
really
right.
big for
Right.
that entertainment.
Yeah,
That's
me
all I'm
neither.
saying.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm with you
That's
on
all
that.
I'm saying. But I'm not saying the hell, man. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do your
cause
thing,
who
but
else? Somebody else. Martin. Yeah, even Martin Lawrence. I think
yeah,
he did the little woman thing and all
yeah,
that. So
Big Mama's
Big
house.
Mama House,
Yeah,
Big Mama
right,
House.
right.
But it's got you got some funny things here. I
Yeah,
think
you go. Yeah, yeah,
even Eddie Murphy. He
yeah.
did it. So it's I,
Everybody's had their time.
Them,
I'll tell you
yeah,
what.
but I like
Yeah,
how you said it though with Hollywood, and I get it.
Yeah.
that's a Hollywood thing. So
Yeah, Hollywood has been like that for years, and they typecast you. And I like to watch a lot of old shows. I like to watch a lot of westerns. I'm a big western fan. African American guy is a big western fan,
but you know what's
but I
funny
love
when you
but I
say,
love westerns. Hmm.
well, you talk about westerns, and I know this is a sports show. I don't know how me and Brad got into all this TV
Come
talk,
on, we talk about everything. Come on, man. It's been
but
a minute
but
since but whatever's
but
hot, we talk about it. But yeah,
but
go
we'll
ahead.
we'll give it its time a little bit more. But
Yeah,
the westerns, I'm like you. I mean, believe it or not, I've actually been watching Gunsmoke.
me too. Yeah, me too.
I've been
Because it
watching.
just pops up on my Roku, and so at night, that's what I'm watching. I'm watching Gunsmoke like
Man, it's just
watching Gunsmoke.
it's kind of like the icing for me to go to sleep. It's just like
Right.
just
But
put
it's
on
good storytelling. I mean,
it
it's very
is.
few. It's excellent, excellent storytelling. That's why it's kind of like Andy
Well, that's, I
Griffith,
mean, they had so many
the main, yeah,
seasons. Yeah, they had some of the best writers, man.
the main writer.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it started as a radio show.
Well, that's true.
For
That's
many,
true.
which a lot of shows did. A lot of everything Have Gun, Real Travel. A lot of the westerns kind of started, on radio, and then went to black and white when TV became the technology advancement and so on and so forth. But you're right. It stood the test. I tell you what's interesting. If you have some time, and I'm a nerd when it comes to a lot of stuff. What I've been doing lately is I've been on YouTube. I can look at everything on YouTube, but they have this architect, and what she's done, she's animated a lot of the homes that you would see on your favorite television shows.
Yeah,
And so, like All in the Family, the Jeffersons, the Brady Bunch is a real popular one. Leave It to Beaver. And so, what she's done was like, here are the discrepancies about what you see from the outside and what's really going on the inside. And she designed that stuff to a T in terms of seeing what people in Hollywood call the fourth wall. And the fourth wall is really the audience. But breaking down that fourth wall, she designs all that stuff. And especially, in the 70s, 80s, when all those types of shows would come out. And that's what it was. But nowadays, it's very, very few sitcoms out there nowadays. A lot of reality television.
yeah,
There's no fourth wall, that kind of thing. And so, but I thought it was very interesting to kind of see some of your favorite shows, like the Jeffersons, and to see the entire apartment in terms of what was behind there in that condo. I thought that was just the coolest thing ever to see it. So, she does it all. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then I forget what it is, but I have it next time. But it's on YouTube. You
okay,
just flat out just say, hey, just looking for favorite set designs or something like that, and it'll pop up. Cool stuff, man. I like that guy. I'm a nerd about this. But at any rate, happy Juneteenth. We got off on a little tangent, but it's kind of worth it because we want to give people their flowers while they're here. I know a lot of times when we start the show, sometimes it's rest in peace and all that kind of stuff, but no rest in peace. We want to give people their flowers while they're here Juneteenth. And so we just want to celebrate that. Look, guys, we got Braves and Mets going on right now. Let's talk sports. Got Braves and Mets going on right now. And it's business as usual for the Braves. So you know what I mean when I say business as usual. The Braves are winning. Braves had a comeback win last night, 5-4, and they jumped on top of the Mets 5-0 so far. But this is the scary part about the Braves is once the starters sit down and the bullpen gets in there, that's when Braves fans get nervous.
yeah,
So you can never have enough runs if you're a Braves fan because of our bullpen. I think we have one of the worst bullpens in the majors. But our pitching is pretty good. I think Chris Sale came out there and he whooped up on the Mets tonight. And so Chris Sale is looking like Chris Sale through 7 innings.
yeah. Chris Sales. I mean, you know what you're gonna get with him. I mean, he's always been that consistent. Um, I guess pitcher for the
Yeah,
Braves when they need a win.
yeah.
So I love when he pitches.
Oh yeah. Ooh, you and me both, man. And so, and it's only gonna get worse for him because you have um who's pitching tomorrow. Spencer Strider's pitching tomorrow, so it's not going to get better for the Mets.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, so and Spencer Strider is really starting to find his groove right now. So that not good for the Mets. But I mean, look, man. I mean, you play the Mets. I mean, being a Braves fan, that's why I don't get the rivalry thing. Other than we have a lot of New Yorkers that live in Atlanta that that switch from some of them are Mets fans when it's convenient.
Yeah.
and every New Yorker that I know is like a Yankees fan. Nobody says. I think I've only met like maybe 2 people out of 10,000 that they were actually Met fans.
Right.
Everybody's a Yankee fan and Met fans when it's convenient. But I don't know, man. I mean, when we played the Mets, I guess it's just a new generation because I grew up in the older generation of when the Braves win the NFC West and us, the Dodgers, Expos, all those guys. That's what I grew up in. And then now this National League East, it's not new, but when you grew up, when you were in a totally different division, then it's just different to me.
Yeah.
But look, man, I'm not gonna put salt in it. If they're having fun with it and want to call it a rivalry, then it's all good. Let them have fun with it, and when the Mets come to town, we have fun with it. But it's not packed tonight, though. I don't know what's going on.
Well, yeah, that is kind of interesting. Maybe, well, who knows? But yeah, who knows on that? A lot of time when you think about the summertime, I think there's so much other activities you can do. It ain't just going to the Braves game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
People are there, but
I mean, people are there, but I'm saying people traveling, all this kind of stuff. Going to Disney World.
yeah.
So,
but there was bobblehead. It was Usher bobblehead night. So, I thought that was interesting. So they had some interesting paraphernalia that I would be purchasing. We have to go to fan shop and find some paraphernalia for the cruise. And that'll be it. But yeah, Braves just one game at a time, man. I mean, we're like 10 games under 500, 10 plus games out of first place, man. I mean, being a Braves, this is a tough year for us. You got basically the same team, but you cannot get the pitching and the hitting together at the same time. You can never string together, 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 wins like you used to.
Right.
And so now the wins are coming tough, man. You win a couple games, you lose a couple games. You lose bad too, man. I mean, the Rockies was a less than stellar. I mean, the Rockies are the worst team in baseball, and the Braves didn't sweep. Okay, that was a problem.
Right.
Braves not sweeping that series and then losing that last game. I mean, you won the series, but you should have swept them. And you lost that last game 10-1, which was just horrible.
Right.
But that's been the Braves all season. So I don't know if Anthopoulos is going to make some last minute moves to try to make a pitch and get some key help in that bullpen, man. I know that the runs aren't great neither. I mean, sometimes our runs are hard to come by.
Right.
Do you get you some bats or do you go and get you some pitching? I'll be going out there give me some pitching. And it's not easy to find, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Find somebody getting that bullpen.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That bullpen is atrocious.
I agree with you, man.
It is atrocious. Real quick, man. I don't know if you heard about it, man, but the Lakers was for sale. They sold their team today for $10 billion. So Buss family, I think that Gina Buss is still gonna have a role as governor, whatever the hell that means. I guess it's just ceremonial. I guess she'll have a role ceremonial. But for the most part, it's a different folks going to be owned. I don't think it's no longer family owned. It's somebody else. I forgot the guy's name. but they got new ownership. $10 million, man. I can't even fathom what $10 million. I know what it gets you. Obviously, it gets you a basketball team. but,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but in order to be able to put a deal together to where you have $10 billion on the table between you and maybe some other investors, because that's not, you never use your own money for stuff like this or for anything.
Right.
But so you use somebody else's money, but to bring them to the table to do a deal of this nature.
Well, that's how
Incredible.
that's how deals are getting done. Everybody bringing some kind of capital or to the table, and we all can get a percentage, right? It's like a
Yes,
percentage,
sir.
and so everybody wins. So, but yeah, I mean, $10 billion. That's insane money, but
Yeah, it's insane.
I know in my lifetime, I'll never see that amount.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a lot of money, man.
it's a lot of money. Man, look, man, I hate to bring it, but man, Chris Sale is killing it, man. Chris Sale is pitching 9 innings again. But I think if you want to win a game, you gotta. If they can go 9 innings, man, then you get Braves pitchers pitching 8 going deep in the game, because our bullpen is that bad. You don't want to give up this game.
Yeah.
And so you're on the verge of winning a series. If you win this series against the Mets, then that is good. You got to win this game though. So
yeah.
You got Chris Sale in there killing it, man. At top of the 9th inning, 1 out. And he just made an incredible play at the mound. Incredible play. And I hate to do play-by-play, y'all, but this is just a really good game. Lou, what's going on, sir?
What's going on?
The Yankees just got caught with an error and scored a run for the Angels. Ugh, what a dope. Yankees are on a bit of a losing streak right now. They went 30 innings without getting a run.
My goodness, man, look at that.
Interesting. Yeah. So, Lou, what do you think about the deal, the $10 billion deal to get the Lakers?
I can't even fathom that. $10 billion.
Right, exactly.
He said, "Okay, I agree with you."
Can't put it into words. $10 billion.
Man, I mean, 10 million. I mean, that's a lot to me.
That's still a lot, yeah.
1 million.
That's a lot of money.
I think I've seen $1 million home, but
yeah, I've seen that.
But they're gonna guarantee them a championship. I don't know about that.
So, no. Yeah, that ain't. Yeah.
Exactly.
So they still got to put it together, and see what happens after that. Yeah.
But Jeannie's still gonna be a big part of it for several years to come.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's gone for it completely. Good.
Right.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Jeannie Bus.
Oh well, Chris Sale is 1 out away from shutting these guys out, man. Jesus. I mean, he is showing his ass. I just had to say it, man. He's feeling it. And he's still pitching in the 90s.
Wait, what are you watching it on?
FanDuel.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on FanDuel.
But Chris Sale, Chris Sale's that type. He's been that type of pitcher though, man. I mean, that guy, man.
He's that dude. He is him.
Chris Sale of the century. I get it.
Yeah, Sale of the century, guys. He is him. 96-mile-per-hour sinker.
That's my little joke.
My God, this guy is. The count is 0-2. Oh my God, this is good. Everybody's up. Everybody's standing up. Everybody's
he's about to strike somebody out.
Yeah. It's almost something else. But $10 billion, guys. I don't know, but at least we know what $10 billion gets you. It gets you a basketball team.
Yeah,
$10 billion or less. I don't.
But what kind of? Yeah, but who knows what kind of results it's going to get you?
It's no guarantee. I mean, you know, You got LeBron, and I'm about let's get into this, man. I was about to talk about it later on, but let's fall into it since we're talking about Lakers and Laker talk. And with LeBron James, you know, he made some comments recently. I know you guys kind of heard about the recent comments about rings. You know, he's basically talking about, you know, rings are overrated in terms of you know, the greatness, measuring the greatness of players. I'm like, you know, I'm like, okay, hold up. You know, let me see if I understand what this guy is saying. You know, we're talking about a guy who is also chased rings. I mean, he's no different than, you know, he's going from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland to LA. I think that was his track.
Yeah.
You know, and everywhere he's going, you know, he didn't go just because, you know, just because he felt some kind of way at the bottom of his heart. You know, and he had a soft spot for Miami in his heart, and so he wanted to go down there and play for the Heat. No. He went down there to win a ring. He came back to Cleveland to win a ring. He went to LA at the beginning to win a ring. You know, and you know, he's been to championships, but he's lost more than he's won in terms of rings. So I'm gonna hold it right there, guys. I got a lot more to say, but I'm a
Yeah.
Lou, what do you think about? Lou, what you think about that, man?
Wait, think about what? About the sale or something else?
LeBron. No, this is like LeBron James and players in rings. Do you think that rings really truly define how great a player is more so than players?
No, not at all. No, just because you got a ring does not mean that, you know, you got to look at all the individual things that happen with the player and what kind of player he is, you know, what kind of person he is off the court. So it's not just rings that, you know, define your career. It's everything else. It's, you know, points, rebounds, coming through in the clutch. You know, I mean, yeah, Jordan had 6 rings, but you know that defied him. But that's a rarity. You know, I mean, there are plenty of guys who've won rings and, you know, don't even get really recognition anyway. So it's very rare. It's very rare to have that.
Yeah. So Howard, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about, right? I mean, the competition, getting championship rings. At least that's what I thought. You know, that's the whole value of it, being competitive and trying to get as many rings as you can get.
Got it. All game.
Yeah,
but, yes, sir. I mean, he took Chris. Well, we'll talk about that later on. He took Chris Sale out, man. I think everybody wanted Chris Sale to get that last out, but Snicker was just kind of like, nah, man, let's not play around with this. Get this game over because the guy just had one hit, so ball game.
Right.
So go ahead, Hope. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah, so you know, I think his LeBron statement, you know, I don't know if it is because maybe he just knows somewhere along the way his career is coming to an end now. So now I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna say some things that people I know they're gonna disagree with me, but I'm just saying it for the hell of it. That's what I think, man. I can't really put any weight on what he's saying because if you look at it, like you said, at the prime of his career, he was chasing rings. He was chasing the championships, right? So that's what I think we're just getting a LeBron who's at the end of his career, and now he wants to, you know, say, well, it's not all what it crapped out to be. You know, well, that's his opinion.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's all it is, Brad. That's all it is.
Yeah. You know, I think you hit on all cylinders on that comment, sir. I think that now that, you know, he's won all he's gonna win.
Correct.
He's got what 4 rings? He's won 4.
Yeah.
He won 4 rings. All right. He won 4 and lost 6 or something like that. I don't know, but that's that. But
but here's the question. Let me ask you and Lou: is LeBron going to get another ring? Do you think LeBron going to get another ring?
No. He's
I
not
agree.
going.
I
He's not.
agree.
And that's not why he's still. He's in it for stats right now. He's in it for stats, money, and a little bit of legacy, and some nostalgia because his son's playing.
Yeah. But
He's
and
not
I
in it for a
think
ring.
it's definitely not money or the passion for it. It's definitely his son, no doubt about it, is his has a big priority. He's got his son
Yeah,
into the league.
yeah,
Now what his son does with it, that's up to his son. If he's going to make his own legacy or whatever the case, who knows, role player or who knows, I don't know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head with the guy, and that's just kind of what it is. And so he's just trying to kind of plant this thing in folks' head, especially his fans, in terms of where do you place LeBron James in the history of the game. And so I that's all I think that and he's just gaslighting it,
yeah,
and so you look at the greats, and let's just say Charles Barkley. That's the most obvious name. One of the greatest power forwards play the game. Didn't win one, but he got there. And for me, I think it's kind of as important to get because it's hard to get there. I think people kind of miss that point because I think it's incredibly hard to make it to lead your team to make it to a championship in any sport. Number one, and I think you got to give players credit who have led their teams. That let's see, LeBron's been to how many championships? Win or lose? How many in all, guys? What, 8? Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. 8. And anybody to lead their team to 8 championships and you win half of them, geez, man, that's got to count for something. 50% got to count for something, And I said the same thing with Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's been to 8. I mean, he's won 5 out of 8, but he won most of them. He didn't win all of them, but he won most of them. And most of the ones he lost, I mean, he lost to other great teams.
Yeah.
All right. He lost to other great teams when he did lose. And so you got to put these things in proper context, guys, in terms of the historic relevance. Now, the GOAT conversation is we're going to have this from time to time. It's fun to have. Almost kind of impossible to come with a clear, concise answer all the time, but I think they're fun to have. But where does LeBron stand in the GOAT conversation if he was to retire this year? Of all time. Some people are calling him the best basketball player of all time. A lot of the younger, and you find that in terms of the younger folks, people that are younger than us, most of them will say that. Because they haven't seen or experienced a lot of the guys before him. They haven't experienced Kobe. They haven't really experienced Michael Jordan, Bird, Magic, those guys. But what if he was to retire this year, Lou? Where would LeBron James rank?
Probably third.
Woo, that's a lot. That's high. That's still high.
Yeah. You got Jordan, you got Bill Russell. I mean,
he's got Bill Russell. Okay.
You got to put him in that. So it has to be. It has to be third.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
That's respectable. What say you, Hope? What does LeBron James think?
I'm gonna say LeBron James is out of. Let's break it down in this category. In my top 10 players, right? My top 10 players, LeBron falls in the top 10, and he probably come in probably either 8 or maybe 9.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
If I had to go, I'm going on the top 10 scale.
Yeah. I feel you. I'm kind of where you are, Hover. I'm kind of 10-ish with him.
Yeah,
Kind of.
I said 8 or 9. I probably go with
I
9.
got it between 9 and 11.
Yeah,
9 and 10. 9 and 10. I'm sorry, 9 and 10. 8 and 10. Maybe 8 and 10. They got to
yeah,
count
yeah.
8 and 10, but I still got to sort things through. I still got to sort him out. I
Yeah.
haven't quite unpacked his career yet. He's still playing, and I haven't quite unpacked everything on him yet. But
But
you know, go ahead.
but we old heads. But I mean, if you had, the millennials, he would be number one, right? Um,
Of course, but
okay.
yeah,
So
without even no
yeah,
question. But that's all they know. They don't. I don't think a lot of them have context
yeah. I
in terms
mean,
of the entire because you got Lou that's saying Bill Russell, and I'm just putting a bucket of players.
Michael Jordan and Jordan.
and when
Well,
Jordan,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
But
for
I
me,
mean, like for example, my nephews, they didn't see Jordan play, right?
right.
So if I
Yeah,
had to ask them, they're gonna say LeBron. You know,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
they maybe saw the tail end of Kobe's career, so it'd
Right.
probably be LeBron and Kobe. For them.
Right. Right.
You know,
Exactly. You're right. Like I say, when you put it all in the context, they ain't been here long enough.
right?
And so that's what they know and everything before that. Nobody's going to take the time to look at old film and stuff, other than somebody like me. But
Right.
for me, the creme de la creme for me is for me it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because I just thought that he was great on the college level. That he was so great on the college level, and he was great on the professional level in the ABA. He was great in another league when they merged him, and he won championships everywhere he's been.
But Brad, depending on who you talk to, somebody may say Bill Walton, right?
Yeah,
So
it may.
Yeah.
They may say Bill,
look,
and I can't even. Ain't nothing I can say. Ain't nothing I can say. But yep, you're right. Because of the context, because because I had a chance to see Kareem play. I was a kid, but I remember Kareem playing. And but
no, I remember when he played too.
Yeah, and he was just
Right.
he was unstoppable. And so, but even when I saw him, that he was on the other side of his peak when I saw him.
Correct.
He went at his peak, and so so I had to watch film to see him at his peak. But all of that is just to say is there have been so many great players in the league, and you put it in proper with Kareem and Bill Walton and Jerry West, Bill Russell, those kind of
I mean,
guys, man, Magic, Bird,
like most people, like I said, depending on who you ask, like who, they would say, well, who's the best center, in the NBA in your eye, who you think is the best center that you've seen play? Some people may say Bill Walton, some people may say Shaq. Me personally, I'm gonna say Hakeem Olajuwon. But hey,
he was a
you
bad
know,
man. He was a
hey,
bad
I'm just
man.
going. I'm
He was a
just
bad
going.
man.
Hey, I'm just going with what I know.
He definitely my top 5 of all time.
Some people may say Patrick Ewing,
Oh yeah, I
but
like yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going with a Hakeem Olajuwon. I never
yeah,
seen a big man move like that. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
all.
yeah. I'm with you, man. With big men, I got Kareem and Shaq and the Dream on that. The big men, I got to put Bill Russell in there. In
Absolutely.
context based on his IQ of the game and just everything. He was the consummate basketball player on and off the court. But his IQ was just so high about it. But again, that's the fruitful discussion that you have about basketball and LeBron and what you talk about. And and I even question, guys, if he is the number one guy in his era. And I only say that because of Steph Curry. And Steph Curry has won more than he has lost in championships. And I don't think I've ever seen a player like Steph Curry. He he has influenced the game more than LeBron. LeBron got stats, but has he influenced the game like Allen Iverson or like Steph Curry? I don't know. If so, what did he do? And so that's kind of where I'm coming from with influencing the game and changing the game. Steph Curry changed the game. Everybody shoots blow goals. Even in the women's game, everybody shoots blow goals now. Everybody trying to have that range. Nobody really going in and pounding no more. I mean, the rules got a little bit to do with it, but I mean, Steph Curry has done it. I mean, he is a freak of nature. He is a combination of a couple of players. He's a little bit of Allen Iverson. He's a little bit of Reggie Miller. He's a little bit of Jerry West. Put your player in there. He is a combo. He is a combo of all of that, and you still have not seen anybody do the things that he has done. So he's just a freak of nature for me, man, and he's got the rings to prove it in the stats. And so I mean that guy's so good, man. But a lot of folks say, well, he couldn't have played in a different era. Well, we'll never know. We'll never know. So you'll never know. Where other people say, well, LeBron would have dominated in the 80s. Well, you never know. Because we'll never see it. And that's one thing I remember that Jordan said that I will always remember. We'll never know.
Right.
You never played against each other. How you know? You speculate. How you know what I'm gonna do? I've never played against them one-on-one. I don't know what the things were back then. You don't know what I would do. So you just leave it. All of that is just to say we just give people credit. It's fun to have the discussion, and but you just give players their credit based in the era that they played. And you can do the one-on-one, I still like the position though. I like the position talk though. Best setters and point guards. I love that stuff. But at any rate, with basketball, guys, let's stay on basketball. What's going on with the Pacers and OKC, man? I mean, is it over for the Pacers now that Halliburton's hurt and out?
I'll let Lou go first on that.
What say you, Lou?
Yeah, I mean, I think this series is over. I mean, with Halliburton, injured, I think it's safe to say that OKC can wrap it up because without Halliburton, I think how they're going to win
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna.
didn't see Siakam, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna give you. You're gonna know. You know what you get with him, but he needs Halliburton. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go with OKC. Gonna go ahead and take care of business on this one, and Jay-Z lost his bet. But yeah, so it's if he had if he had said OKC in 6, he would have been cool. But oh well. But yeah, OKC in 6. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, look. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think that Pacers probably should have won that game. They had home they were up by double digits at home, and they found a way to just kind of give this thing up, man, and let OKC come back and lost another game at home. You don't want to lose on the home court. But I don't know, man. I don't see how they win.
I mean, I'm just talking like the series over with, but give Indiana credit. I mean, they battled throughout to get to the finals. But yeah, at this stage, with Halliburton not being healthy, I'm not saying, but he just with him being healthy, they have a better chance. Than him not being healthy, right? Somebody else got to step up, and I just don't know who that player what player that's gonna step it up, and I just don't see it. I agree with Lou. I think his series is over with.
Yeah, it's done. It's done, man. I think that I mean they're really gonna need a big game. From Siakam really gonna need a big game from Siakam, and he's gonna need some help. A lot of help. And
Yeah,
you
you
hoping
know,
that,
yeah.
that you hope that your bench guys, come to play. And usually your bench guys show up to play when they're at home.
Right. You know, they're gonna need Neesmith making threes, Nemhart everybody need to pitch in and be scoring like 20 points or something. I mean, but yeah,
Yeah,
you're right though. They, if the guys like those really step it up, who knows? But
yeah,
I just I don't see it though. I'm just gonna be honest. I just think OKC. One thing about OKC, um, that you got to give them credit on. They play good
yeah.
defense,
Mhm.
and they're never out of a game. And if they can play like they played last, I just see them winning it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're healthy. Defense is just so good. They're a deep squad. They're finding and manufacturing the points on the offensive side of the board. So I mean, it's OKC should win this thing, man. Take care of it. I mean, it wasn't in doubt, for me. I still had OKC
Yeah,
winning in. I had them winning in 7.
yeah.
But so guys, let's take a step further. What do you think? What 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 do you think about the ratings? This has not been on one of the top rated.
Horrible.
Yeah, this has not been one of. This has probably been one of the lowest rated championships in basketball history. What do you guys think about? And we talked a little bit about this last week before. What do you guys think about this?
Well, I mean, it doesn't much of a fan base, so naturally you're not going to get the kind of rings you would think if you had New York and LA or um, maybe Oakland, Detroit or whatever. So it's really been, even though it's been kind of an interesting series, no one seems to be really interested in watching it. Even with SAG and Halliburton, playing there because they are two of the future stars of the league, but people are just not showing up for it.
Yeah, I mean, you got people watching Clark game more than the NBA Finals. So
This
what
is
that
true.
tell you? I mean, what
This is
that
true.
tell you? So
This is true.
um, yeah,
I
I
mean, I mean, uh, but why? Let's dig a little deeper, guys. Why do you think that's the case?
well,
Well,
I don't think. I mean, well, you got two teams. Like I think you brought it up, Brad, that don't really get a lot of national play. During the
no,
NBA season.
Hmm.
You don't
really
see,
no.
you don't see these teams playing on Christmas. Well, I think maybe OKC, maybe. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't even remember them playing on Christmas.
We're gonna find out this year.
I think I think they'll be on there. I think
right
both of
now,
these
no.
teams,
Yeah,
yeah, they may be one of these teams may be on Christmas this year, but
right.
they put Minnesota on. So, but yeah, man. So that's the thing is NBA just hasn't marketed these two teams that well.
Yeah, and
Um,
so
and to be quite honest, and we talked about this. I mean, with Indiana at one point in time, I really didn't know anybody on Indiana team. I mean,
yeah,
I know now, but
oh, yeah. Now you know who Obi Toppin is now.
or hell, it goes even deeper than that. I didn't even know Siakam was playing for them. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So look, man, I think you guys both of you guys hit on all cylinders on that. I think that it's an ESPN problem, and it roots down to all of the personalities that they have from just all of them. Just name one, and Stephen A is the main one. Love him, hate him, or indifferent. He's really, he if you want to talk about folks and if you want to put a team out there and have people listen to just excerpts, He's the guy that puts it out there, but he doesn't do his home. He hasn't done his homework on OKC and the Pacers all year. All he's been doing is talking about New York and LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay, and a little bit of Steph. And so,
but I mean, really, and I think Lou might said about Steve. That's what I don't like about Stephen A. You know, Stephen A. He has a way of presenting or broadcasting, and it's, to be honest, it's not really about him doing any research. Everybody been making a big fuss about him playing solitaire, you know, while the game was going. I mean, what that tell you? So what he tries to do is he tries to bring his can I put it, this aura of his personality, being this guy, you know, you never know what he's gonna say. He comes off kind of like he's mad all the time. That's what he, you know, that's what people like to see that. And so that's all he does. And he doesn't, you know, Brett, I mean, let's just be honest. He doesn't really do any research. He just goes with the masses, pretty much what everybody else saying. He likes he likes the Knicks, as you know, right? And talks about LeBron, and that's it. That's where he stands. So I never really put a whole lot of weight when Stephen A. talk, because I know that what he does. And people like it, but people like it. I don't,
because you know why? You know why people like it? Because he is the fast food of sports. He's fast food. That's what he is. He's fast food. You know,
I think you said it best though. Yeah.
That is what he is. That's all he's good for. Surface stuff, unhealthy sports, and everything. Very, very surface. So yeah, man, that's what he is. But the NBA got a problem. They need to find out how to get out of this problem, because LeBron is about to retire. What's the other fat boy that plays over there at the Lakers? What's his name? Fat boy. Pillsbury Doughboy. What's his name? Just came from Dallas.
Luka.
Yeah, fat boy Luka. He's got some work to do. Yeah, he's in LA, but he's got work to do. And so, all right, if not the Lakers, they better find these new stars. You better find a way to promote Halliburton. Find a way. I mean, shoot. SGA is your MVP. Half the folk don't even know who he is or haven't seen him play a complete game.
Yeah, but the thing about SGA, you know, how can I put it? He's not very charismatic. Maybe, you know, he's kind.
No, he look half asleep. Don't say look like
Lou said it.
Look like nah.
I gotta tell you to see it, fellas.
Well, Lou did. I mean, he's right. I mean, right. The guy. I mean, granted, the guy can ball, you know, but he's just not. He's not charismatic, man. I mean, he comes across as, you know, just one of the guys on the court that plays better than everybody.
Yeah.
I know that didn't sound right, but
it's spot on. I mean, he ain't talking no cash smack to nobody. You know, he just do his job and leave. Win or lose, he the same guy. You know, and
remember they used to say that about Kawhi Leonard. Remember that they used to say the silent assassin. You know,
but Halliburton's the exact opposite. But that's why I say Halliburton's the exact opposite. And so Halliburton give you a whole lot of emotion and last minute shots. I mean, he may look like crap for like 3 quarters, but he showed me 4 quarters and get it done.
Well, I agree. I mean, Halliburton is more charismatic. I definitely agree with that. So,
so they should be able to attach their wagon to Halliburton too, and find a way to just do their jobs. They NBA and ESPN, NBA TV, and everybody in between need to do their job and market this sport, market these people, these young players. Do your job, and everybody's is lazy. There ain't no real journalists. All the real journalists are being silenced or gone. You got too many bloggers on bloggers, too much fast food, too much Stephen A. Even Scott Van Pelt, is watering down his stuff. And so nobody's really, putting in the work to promote these folks, man. And that's the problem. I mean, you got charismatic guy. I mean, hell, you got Trey Young, but nobody likes him because he plays in Atlanta. So, it's just always something, And so NBA got a problem because here comes WNBA, here comes Caitlin Clark and crew, here comes Angel Reese and crew, here comes Asia Wilson and crew. Here comes some people that are getting more viewers than the NBA championship. You guys said it, and that's where we are. That's where we are. NBA got a problem, and they better go ahead and find out how to go and promote this stuff before it's too late. Kids ain't sitting up watching games like we used to, like we do. These kids, they if it's not a highlight that's on Instagram or X or something like that, Facebook, they ain't watching for a quarter of the game. They, and if they're at the game, they're on the phone, like Stephen A. So they got to get people to pay attention. Fast forward to Christmas and holidays when they're trying to put these games on, and here comes the NFL. Like, nah, who said that y'all got to do that? We want a piece of that action. Now they got an NFL problem.
Yeah.
Now they got an NFL problem. So, guys, I don't know what the future of the NBA is going to be. Now that the guys, LeBron, the Stephs, and all the other guys are rolling out, and you got this new talent rolling in that they're not getting by. They get behind Ant-Man, but Ant-Man not winning. Not winning the championship. At least not yet. But they put him behind, because Ant-Man's got everything they're looking for. He's from Atlanta. He talking smack.
Look. It's real simple with Ant-Man, and I'm gonna call it like this: Ant-Man needs to get out of Minnesota, man. I'm just gonna be honest, man. He's gonna have to get out of If he won a championship, he's gonna have to get out of Minnesota.
You're correct, sir.
That's just the bottom line.
He's gonna have to get out. He can get it. He can go to Chicago. He can go to Miami. He can go to New York. He can go to LA. But he got to get up out of there.
I even say even if he want to go to New York, but he got to get out of. He got to get out of Minnesota.
He got to get to a different. It's sad, but say that again, Lou.
Get out of Dodge.
You got to get out of Dodge, man. You got to get out of Dodge, man.
That's just the bottom line. Yeah,
you hit the nail on the head right there, Hova. I agree 100% on that. 100%. He got to get out of Minnesota. I don't see him finishing his career in Minnesota.
I don't see him finishing his career there. He definitely not going to get a chance. I mean, I'm not trying to poo-poo on it, but he's not going to get a championship there.
That's true. It's not going to happen. You gotta go to a market, preferably a place with deep pockets.
Yeah,
and that's not, it's only 4 or 5 places you can go.
Yeah,
4 or 5 places you can go in the NBA.
I mean, like. I really could see him. I mean, honestly, I really could see him fitting very well in New York. That's me. With him, Bronson, Big Cat. He played with Cat.
Yeah. He played with Cat.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe they add another good piece. I think he could get a championship there. Now that's just the way I see it. But
I don't know if he get a championship in New York, but he'll definitely get a lot more pub. I think he can. It depends on how you put it together. You're right, Hova. It all depends on how you put it together. Depends on how you put it together.
But that's a big market, and I think they can make it happen with him.
It's not a big market, but I think he get a championship in San Antonio.
I don't know, bro. San Antonio.
Think about who they got. Think about who's on the team.
They got Wimper. They got
Wemby. They're not sexy, but look at who they have. They got the Rookie of the Year. You got Wemby, and somebody else just went to San Antonio, and it's like, it's that team that's just coming up in the rearview mirror. Like, who this?
Well, you may be on to something there. You may be on.
I don't know, man. They're not sexy, but I think they can win.
Well, or what if he went to OKC with Shai? So
yeah, you already know that. But the good, what I like about OKC is they built their squad the way teams that don't have big stars, so to speak. I'm not saying that SGA is not a big star, but I mean, look at how they got SGA. They built this team through the draft.
Yeah.
You know, they started from rock bottom, man, and just built the team like the Hawks and everybody else trying to build their team. Orlando, everybody is trying to build their team. Say Sacramento, everybody in the league is trying to build their team through the draft. Other than like the Lakers in Boston, right. So that's what that is. But guys, good talk. We got to shut it down. It was good talk tonight. Good talk, Lou.
Absolutely, yeah.
Take us home, Lou.
All right, Enhanced Sports Show rolls on Saturday 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number is 512-543-4662. Got a lot of recapping to do. Recap the NHL Finals just ended last night. Panthers win again, second year in a row. Either a preview of Game 7 for Sunday or Finals recap of the NBA. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit of the finale of the UFL. Also, MLB and NBA action as well. Thoughts and comments are always welcome. The ridiculous night of the week, sports trivia, this day in sports history, and the good news story of the week. So remember, it's 512-543-4662 from 4 to 6 p.m. Saturday. Check us out on Facebook Live. And like and share the page as well. Oh, we'll also talk UFC and WWE wrestling as well.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Go, Bird. All right. Thanks a lot, Lou. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Lou.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right.
And so next week, we're going to get into the NBA draft. And so thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, same time. Brad Hogan Show. Till next time, speak on it.